The Batman is officially in theaters. I was lucky enough to see it again this past weekend, and to no surprise, I enjoyed it a lot more the second time. And this is your warning. If you haven't seen it yet, this video is going to be full of spoilers for The Batman. You have been warned. The film opens up with Riddler taking his first victim in a creepy and unsettling sequence. And then after that is arguably one of my favorite sequences in the whole entire film, is where we get this voiceover from Robert Pattinson saying he's been Batman for 2 years. He's basically nocturnal now. And I love how it's shot. I love the build up to it. I love how all these different crimes and there's all these different criminals around the city. And then they see the bat signal in the sky, and then they keep looking into alleys or areas of shadow, areas of darkness. They keep looking, thinking Batman might be there. And it strikes fear into their eyes and fears into their hearts. Then we hear that theme and that score just swelling up. We hear Robert Pattinson say, "But I am the shadows." It was just so fucking cool. That gave me chills. That will be iconic. That is one of many sequences in this film that I just won't forget. It just shows how this film is made overall. It's just so well crafted. You can tell that every single frame, every single detail, every single shot had so much care and so much thought put into it. I will never forget that sequence. It was just so fucking cool. And speaking of that score, I forgot to talk about it in my spoiler-free review. It is incredible. I love Batman's new theme. I love the dun, 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 dun. It feels so Batman, but there's also a theme of like hopelessness, but also hope. Like bittersweet. And it fits Batman and Bruce Wayne's character so perfectly. I also love Riddler's score. It's extremely creepy. It's extremely unsettling. And I love Catwoman's score too. The score in this film is just perfect. It perfectly fits the theme and the tone that Matt Reeves is going for. And it feels very creepy and modern, but at the same time, it feels very throwback to some of the old Batman stuff we've heard before. But we learned that Bruce has been doing this for 2 years, but crime and violence is still up. He has no idea why. And then Riddler starts murdering random people that are in some sort of power, leaving these riddles for Batman. And I love how he goes to these police scenes, and all the police officers are like, "What are you doing?" Like, he's a vigilante. Like, they're annoyed by it. They don't like him. They don't want him to be there. But Gordon's the only one that can really trust him. And Gordon's like, come on. Come on. Come on. And I really love the riddles in this film because they're pretty clever, but they're not too complicated. Although Batman figures them out pretty quickly. You know, I get he's the world's greatest detective, but there's really, no time. Like that one sequence where they're at the funeral service when the bomb's around Coulson's neck, he's figuring these things out very quickly. And let's talk about that sequence now because I love that sequence. I already saw the opening of that sequence because it was released online to the public when Coulson crashes the car and he gets out of the car. That's already online. And part of me really wishes it wasn't. It got me super excited for the film, don't get me wrong, because the tone and how it was shot and everything just seemed so perfect, and it was. But I think just watching that for the first time would have been so shocking and just perfect. And when the sequence actually happens, where Riddler's FaceTiming Batman, telling these riddles to Coulson, is so riveting. It's so suspenseful and it keeps you on edge. And I love the shot where Batman walks out of the shadows and he appears and the SWAT team people are like, "Whoa, holy shit, he's actually here." I love how when all the cops really don't think they can trust Batman now, Gordon still trusts him. He's like, "You gotta punch me in the face." And then he escapes. And he uses a squirrel suit, which I thought was really cool. But I don't know why the ad that he just got blasted in the face by a bus or a bridge or whatever. I'd be like, this is a very grounded movie. Or let's say it's grounded, not very grounded. But come on, you have to put that in there. I guess it was kind of funny. But the squirrel suit was cool. I was really not expecting that. It looked kind of silly at first, but like I said, somewhat grounded. And it still ended up being pretty fucking cool. Then we get to the sequence that involves a drug bust and there's a shootout. And then we see the Batmobile and how that was introduced, how the sounds, the sound effects of the Batmobile, that high-powered engine, gave me chills. It was so fucking cool to see. It was just perfectly done. I keep saying perfect, but it really was. All this stuff were just so well crafted and thought out. It was just perfectly done. The sounds, the build-up, all of it was just so fucking cool. And that sequence, that chase sequence, was amazing. It felt like there was really no CGI. I don't know. Maybe there's not. Maybe there was, I don't know, but everything felt practical and real. And I love the part where all the trucks like fall on each other and there's like a POV shot of like the Batmobile and you see all these things in chaos just fall like perfectly to make this ramp. But that was real. Like that was all practical. There was no CGI there. I can't imagine like the engineering and science that had to be done to get that figured out to make sure this all landed perfectly on top of each other. And it was so fucking cool. And then we got the shot, the iconic shot. It's going to be an iconic shot forever of him leaving the Batmobile, walking towards Penguin. Penguin's upside down, and the flames in the background. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And we learn a little bit more about the Wayne's past. We learn that they're not perfect, and I actually really like that. I like that they paint the picture that the Waynes are still very good people, but they're not perfect. They make mistakes just like everyone else. And what Thomas Wayne was doing was to protect his family. Riddler at first makes it seem like he was protecting his image and his political campaign, but that's not the case. He was actually protecting his wife and his son. And I love how all that was done. I also love how they kept it somewhat open-ended who killed his parents. I know they said it was Falcone or whoever it was, but Alfred also said that it also could have been a mugger who was trigger happy. It keeps it somewhat open-ended. And that does justice to the source material. And then we can talk about the big set piece, the big finale, where Batman is interrogating Riddler, and Riddler's like, Bruce Wayne? And at first I'm like, oh shit, he knows Batman's Bruce Wayne. And then eventually he talks about Bruce Wayne for a while, and he's like, oh, we almost got all of them. We almost got our last target. And that made me think like, oh, Riddler actually doesn't know that Batman is Bruce Wayne, because then he would say like, I almost killed you. You know what I mean? Because at first time when I watched it, I'm like, oh, he knows Bruce Wayne's Batman. But the second time watching it, which I really recommend seeing this twice. If you've seen it once and you enjoyed it, watch it the second time, you're going to appreciate it a lot more and you're going to like it a lot more because you pick up a lot more things, just like this. Riddler's like talking about Bruce Wayne, how he's this millionaire orphan or billionaire orphan, and everyone's upset about him. And then eventually he's like, we almost got all of them. We're a good team. Just shows that he doesn't actually think Batman is Bruce Wayne. Something that went completely over my head. But yeah, Riddler's big plan is to blow up like the seawalls and wash everyone into the mill. And then he's going to have like 500 of his Riddler Instagram followers to go to this Madison Square Garden place and just start popping off people, which is honestly super fucked up and dark, and I'm surprised no one online has tried to cancel this movie yet. Well, Batman shows up, and that was really fucking cool too, where the ceiling goes like, and he drops down, and it's like, bum, 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 like, perfect. Him and Catwoman start fucking people up. He shoots himself with adrenaline and almost beats a guy to death. They save the day, but then they ask the guy, like, what's your name? He's like, I'm Vengeance. And Batman has this, like, realization, like, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe vengeance is, like, the wrong message I should be sending all these people. Maybe it should be something else. And then there's, like, a electrical thingy about to shock the water and kill everyone. Climbs up the wire and cuts it. Shocks himself, falls in the water. You think he's dead, but you know he's not dead because it's Batman. You know it's a franchise. He's not going to be dead. And he gets out of the water, and he starts saving and helping people. And it feels like in that moment he was like rebirthed in a weird way. Like he fell in the water and came out as like a new type of Batman because he's like helping people. Like when he's on top of the roof of Madison Square Garden, that one lady like doesn't want to let go of him. And he kind of realizes like, this is what I should be doing. Like inspiring hope into people instead of like fear. Even though like scaring criminals is probably going to be helpful in some way, but inspiring more people to be helpful and hopeful, I feel like would be a better message. And I think he realizes that. It makes me realize that this is somewhat of an origin story, even though we don't get like the Bruce Wayne dead parents and we don't get like him training and get the suit and all that. But this feels like an origin story in a way. And maybe this trilogy or series we're going to get is going to be like a Batman origin story, kind of like Spider-Man, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, where by the end of No Way Home, he's finally like actually Spider-Man. And then here with Batman, maybe at the end of this trilogy, he's like the Batman everyone wants to see. Because I know a lot of people online are complaining that like Bruce Wayne's too emo or whatever, but I thought it was perfectly well done for the tone of this movie and his character, because he's kind of shut out all that Bruce Wayne stuff. At the end of the movie, he's like, I don't care what happens to me. He really only cared about being Batman. So him being like emo Bruce Wayne in public made the most sense to me. But we'll see, because you know we're going to get sequels because they set up that one scene, and I'll be honest, I didn't really like it. I feel like you didn't have to put that in there. It felt like it was something Warner Brothers made Matt Reeves and everyone do. Like, hey, you gotta set something up, and people really like Joker. Like, there's all these other million Batman villains we haven't seen yet, but we've seen Joker like 5 times. He makes a lot of money, so we're going to put Joker in a cell next to Riddler. I'm assuming that's Joker. I mean, I don't know who else that would be. He's got like a fucked up face and he had that laugh. But it's funny they set that up because from what I was reading, even before this movie came out, and even afterwards now, that if they make a sequel, which I think they will, I'd be shocked if they don't make a sequel to this, it's not even going to be Joker. It's going to be like the Court of the Owls or something, which sounds really cool. It's like a cult, which I think would fit perfectly for this whole tone of Gotham they're going for, which is a fucking perfect tone for Batman. Which I don't know. Why would you set that up if it's not going to be in the sequel? Maybe in the third movie. I don't know. But it just felt tacked on. Like, you really didn't need that. And if you're going to do that, I don't know, like, just put in a post-credit scene. They do that all the time now. Every superhero movie has a post-credit scene. So that, like, it feels like a cherry on top in a way. It doesn't feel like part of the movie, if that makes sense. Like, if I watch a Marvel movie and it's amazing, and then the post-credit scene is stupid, I really don't dock points off of that at all. I actually don't. This feels weird because it's, like, part of the movie. Like, it's in the ending before the credits happen. So it feels like it's part of the movie. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. I was just watching. I was like, we don't need this. This movie already feels amazing on its own. It's not like you have to set something up. If you make a sequel, people are going to go see it. Whatever. Maybe I'm being a grumpy old fuck. But yeah, watching the Batman a second time made me appreciate it a lot more. I like it a lot more. I love it. This is definitely one of my favorite superhero movies I've ever seen. I just think it's perfectly crafted in many different ways. It is definitely the best shot superhero movie I think I've ever seen. I need to think about that. It just seems like each shot was just perfectly crafted and had so much thought and care. And everything looked beautiful. The editing was perfect. Everything was just made so well. It made this movie feel so epic. Not feel its runtime at all. Actually seeing it for the second time, it felt shorter the second time. Felt like a 2.5-hour movie, not a 3-hour movie. And I really do implore, if you like the Batman a lot, see it again because you're going to like it a lot more. If you're on the fence about it, see it again. I think you'll like it a lot more. That's the one thing I've noticed online. I don't think anyone hates this movie. It seems like everyone either loves it like me or they're like, yeah, that was pretty good. I'd like to see a sequel. And that's the thing at the end of the day. I am happy how this movie turned out and I'm excited to see sequels moving forward. I saw what Warner Brothers said about making quality standalone films moving forward, taking their time with getting good filmmakers, taking their time making these films instead of just pumping them out, which is a great sign. Hopefully they actually stand by that. But I love the Batman. Maybe I'll see it a third time. Who knows? I am happy it exceeded my expectations. I can't wait to see where they go next. So the Batman. Let me know what you guys thought. Have you seen it again? I am curious to hear. And thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Dave's Takes.